To Transition Tuesdays for this Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022. I am your host, Russ Williams. I'm so glad you could be here. I'm quite aware, ladies and gentlemen, I am quite aware you could have been anywhere in this world today. I know you could have been anywhere in this world today, but you decided to be here with me, and I appreciate that. And more importantly, I appreciate you. So welcome to Transition Tuesdays, my friends, on this 2/22/22, this special heroic day. Man, how's everybody out there doing? How is everybody doing out there today? Let me see if we have anybody in the check-in just yet. Not yet, but I'm sure people are going to be joining us. So ladies and gentlemen, we got an action-packed show once again. But before I begin the show, I always like to state my intentions. And my intention is to give you the opportunity to laugh, smile, think, and engage in honest conversations about your life's transition. So that's what we do here on Transition Tuesdays, ladies and gentlemen. And like I mentioned, all these twos today. So on this day, February 22nd, 2022, it is only fitting that I play this song here. Check it out, guys. See if you know that. See if you know the name of that song. Alright. Hey, alright. For those who don't know, that song is 22 Twos by Hova. Man, 22 Twos. So I had to start the show off with that. 22 Twos by Hova, the God. Man, perfect. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad you guys joined us. I know, I know people coming back from work and, settling down, just relaxing. So I really appreciate having you guys, join me each and every Tuesday. Each and every Tuesday you join me, and I'm going to give you an applause for that. I appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate that. I appreciate what you do by joining me. I know it's tough for you sometimes to join me, but you do join me, and I appreciate that. So I salute you all, and I give you guys your applause. All right? All righty. So, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of stuff goes down on Transition Tuesdays on this historic day, 2/22/22. Man, we're not going to get this date ever again. Just think about that. This date will never occur ever again in a lifetime. Man, pretty special. And you guys are here with me on this historic Tuesday, Transition Tuesdays. So let's get straight into it. If you were watching this weekend, you probably saw the University of Michigan coach, Juwan Howard, getting a little fisticuffs on the sideline there. So I just want to go over that. So if you guys don't know, Juwan Howard is the head coach of Michigan Wolverines. He is the member of the Fab Five. He played at Michigan. Now he coaches there. And, a little situation, a little incident went down this past Sunday. And Juwan Howard, because of his fisticuffs, he was suspended for 5 games. That's during the Big Ten regular season. So he's suspended for the next 5 games. He's also fined $40,000. And what he did with the incident he had with the head coach of Wisconsin after the game. This was all done after the game, in which he took a swipe at the assistant coach. I wonder what he said. I don't know. I got a little theory on that I'm going to go over. But, he was fined. Again, fined $40,000, and he was suspended for 5 games. So what that says is he is able to coach his team, the Wolverines, during the Big Ten tournament, and if they make the NCAA tournament, which I think they're primed to do so. And, this might be a bonding moment for University of Michigan, the players. They're going to have Phil Martelli, who is a great coach at St. Joe's. He's going to take over the reins. So I think the players, if I was a former player, I use this as a rallying cry. We're going to stick up for our coach, and we're going to play the game, We got Chris Williams, Uncle Smoothie, joining us today. Man, we got the voice of the Jaspers, the Pick and Pop podcast on ESPN. This guy's on ESPN. This guy's everywhere, but he's joining us today. What's going on, Smooth? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays, my friend. So, Juwan Howard, like I mentioned, suspended 5 games, fined $40,000. Now, check this out. Now, the guy who really initiated this whole thing, the coach of Wisconsin, he didn't get any suspensions. He got fined $10,000. So I ask you all, does the punishment or the penalty or the punishment fit the crime here? Especially in Juwan Howard's case. You know, should he have gotten 5 games? Some people say he should be fired. I've heard that on a number of publications, that he should be fired. So does the penalty fit the crime here? Should he be suspended 5 games? And should he be fined $40,000? And should the coach of Wisconsin, who really created this and started this, because, you know, let me just go over the scenario, what took place if you guys haven't seen it. Okay, so at the end of the game, you had Juwan Howard. You know, the game was in doubt. Juwan Howard was still pressing, and the coach of the guy's name escapes me, but the coach of Wisconsin, he didn't want to get a violation, 10-second violation, so he called the timeout. So that got Juwan Howard aggravated. So what happened at the end of the game when you get in the line to shake hands, and that's been a tradition. It's been a tradition ever since I played high school, college basketball. It's still going on. Juwan Howard was making a beeline out of there. He was going to blow off the coach, but the coach stopped him, and he put his hands on Juwan Howard. And you could clearly see Juwan Howard said, "Don't put your hands on me." And it looked like this coach was just like getting in his face and put his hands on him, literally to tell him, hey, listen, you know, this is why I called the timeout, trying to explain that to him. And Juwan Howard wasn't having that. And you, like me, I don't know if in your workplace or what have you, if somebody put their hands on you, it's going to be a problem. It could be in the workplace. It could be on the grocery store line. It could be anywhere. If somebody puts their hands on you, that could be a major problem. And that was a major problem for Juwan Howard. So why did this coach have to stop this guy at that time to explain why he did what he did? Maybe he should have just, didn't shake his hand, let Juwan Howard blow him off, then maybe see him in the locker room, or maybe give him a call and tell him why he took the timeout. But he didn't do that. So he puts his hands to Juwan Howard. Juwan Howard didn't take likely to that situation. All hell ensues, and you know, now the assistant coach of Wisconsin gets swiped. He gets hit, you know, with an open hand. And I got a little theory on what happened, what went down there. So here's what I think, guys, and you guys can, people who saw the tape, you let me know what happened. But I saw the tape a number of times, and it looks like when Juwan Howard was going, you know, had the altercation with the head coach, the players come around and try to separate it. You clearly see a Michigan player is trying to separate it. But then you see the Wisconsin coach come in and he's talking to that player on the side. Now, I believe Juwan Howard saw that, and like any coach, they want to have instruction. You know, the kid, their players are instructed by their coach, okay? So maybe this coach, the assistant coach, was trying to, you know, subdue the melee, but talking to the Michigan player, which is Juwan Howard's player. And I can see Juwan Howard in his eyes. He looked at her like, you know, listen, hey, look, my players don't take instructions for you. I'm the coach, not you, assistant coach, or whoever coach from Wisconsin. And I think Juwan Howard felt a certain way because of that. Because this coach was instructing his players on what to do in this melee. So soon as that happened, ladies and gentlemen, as soon as that happened, you clearly see Juwan Howard look at those two talking, and then after that, he takes a swipe at the coach. Now, that's a built-in thing what coaches have. I've had that when I coached as well, too. I instruct my players to do what I would like them to do. You know, they are not going to get instructions from somebody else's players, somebody else's coaches, okay? So I think that's how that went down with Juwan Howard, first of all. So number one, he's aggravated that this coach has touched him. First of all, he's aggravated that this coach called the timeout, okay? But here was Juwan Howard pressing, they down, the game is out of reach as well. So that they both got some blame in this game as well. They're both culpable in this matter, okay? So you got that. hands on Juwan Howard. He's aggravated. And then he sees the assistant coach trying to give his player instructions on what to do. All that is a mix for getting hit, and that's what happened to that coach. I truly believe that happened. Let's see what we got. Chris says the Wisconsin coach came in peace. Howard was in the wrong. Yeah, Chris, I got you. Maybe Howard was in the wrong. Maybe this coach came in peace. But Smooth, we don't know what this coach said. Because if you look at the tape, and guys, I invite everybody to look at the tape, see what the conversation, I can kind of tell what the conversation was. I don't know if this coach came in peace, Smooth, because this coach was telling that player something. The player looked like he had like a little aggravated look on his face, and he looked towards his right where Juwan Howard was. So maybe he came in peace, but he almost left in pieces because Juwan Howard with the nice right hand to the face. Not condoning fighting, but that's what went down. That's what went down. So just be careful. We got Felicia joining us from The Rock. What's going on, Felicia? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. Chris also said Howard has to do a better job controlling his temper. I agree. I don't fault you. I don't agree with. I do agree with you on that because he had the incident last year when he got after Mark Turgeon, the coach of Maryland as well. He had to be separated. So yeah, he has to watch his temper. He is in a position of leadership, leading young men. So he does have to watch his temper. And he said in his press conference, he said, what he said in his release, he says, this will not happen again. So let's hold him to his word. Thank God he wasn't fired because of this. Because, now we live in a culture in which we cancel people. We need to get in a culture of counseling people instead of canceling people. So, yeah. So, Chris, he does have to watch his temper. I agree with that, And how Chris also says Howard was too upset to see things clearly. Yeah, he had some fire in his eyes, and everybody like that. Like I told you earlier, that again, he had those 3 deadly mixes. Okay, number 1, he's aggravated about that timeout call. Number 2, you put your hands on him. Okay, and then number 3, I think he was aggravated by by another coach telling his player what to do in this particular melee. I think all 3 of those, causes for a deadly mix, and what we just saw. We got Dana joining us. What's going on, Dana? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. Dana says, hello, fellow Jaspers, checking in from District Heights in Maryland. Okay, nice. Very nice, Dana. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. And I think Dana is a newbie here on the show. Appreciate it. Chris also goes on to say, as much as I like Howard, he was dead wrong. Got to agree with you too, Smooth. He was dead wrong. It's great that he gets an opportunity to redeem himself, so the proof is going to be in the pudding. He said in his statement, this will not happen again, so let's make sure this doesn't happen again. And you know what the crazy thing, well, not crazy thing, but you know what the kind of soothing thing was? Juwan Howard's son plays for Juwan Howard in Michigan. And I noticed when everything went down, you had on the side, Juwan Howard's son was actually calming down his dad. That was really good to see. That was really good to see because, a lot of times when I'm talking like I got many fights, but I've seen many fights, so basketball fights. But, there was a time when sometimes when people hold you back, you get out of that little hug from that person. But the thing I did notice, which was great to see, was Juwan Howard's son was holding his dad back, and he didn't try to swerve out of it. He just said, okay. All right, my son got me. My son is holding me down. That was good to see, on all this. We got Matthew joining. What's going on, Matthew? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays, my friend. Also, we got one of the Jaspers, Lady J's finest, Donna Siebel joining. What's going on, Donna? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. Welcome. So that's what went down there. But again, I'm gonna play Angel's advocate, because I don't try to be a devil. So I'm going to play Angel's advocate here, right? Now, do we think this coach should have had more culpability in this action as well, the coach for Wisconsin? Should he at least get suspended a game? Maybe fined more than $20,000? Because the truth be told, he agitated this whole thing. If he didn't put his hands on him, this would probably never would have happened. If he just would have let Juwan Howard just blow him off and you guys contact him at a later date, this would have never happened. But he didn't get a suspension. He just got fined $10,000. And I'll tell you this also, with Juwan Howard, because Juwan Howard and Michigan, they took a long time to make a statement. I bet you if Juwan Howard would have made a statement there, because the press conference was terrible on both sides, on both guys' side, because you had the coach of Wisconsin was saying, yeah, if Juwan Howard knew the rules, so what is he saying? He's stupid? So that could get you aggravated. So that's the coach saying for Wisconsin saying that and saying how he wanted to explain why he did what he did, okay? And Juwan Howard is culpable in this matter too because Juwan Howard didn't come off well in his press conference as well. But I think if Juwan Howard would have been contrite like he was with the statement and came out the day of, he probably got suspended maybe 3 games. It wouldn't have been 5 games. It would have been 3 games. And I think 3 games is just for this particular incident. 3 games is just here, okay? A lot of people say this guy should get fired. That would have been crazy. That would have been a travesty. But 3 games is just. But getting back to the coach of Wisconsin, do you guys think he should have got a game at least? At least a game. What do you guys think on that? Do you think he should have got a game on that? We got Raymond joining. What's going on, Raymond? Welcome, Ramon. Sorry. Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. Welcome. We got a newbie joining us. So Donna says, do we know what the Wisconsin coach said to Howard? Yeah, Donna, I think, he tried to stop him at first. He was trying, this is what he said in his press conference. He was trying to explain to Juwan Howard why he called the timeout when he did, when it was like a matter of less than 10 seconds to go. So he was trying to explain to him. So he couldn't wait. I guess, Donna, he couldn't wait. So he tried to impede Howard's path, put his hands on him. That caused the problem. But I think that's what he was trying to discuss. You could have did that via email. You could have did that via a phone call. You don't put your hands on anybody. You don't do that. And Juwan Howard comes from a different time, in which you put your hands on somebody, it might be go time. Juwan Howard said in his press conference, he says when he put his hands on him, he felt threatened. So he had to protect himself. Now, that might be a stretch there, Juwan. Juwan is 6'10", while this other guy is like barely 6 feet. So, I don't know about protecting yourself in that case. But I guess that those instincts come into play, I guess. I'm assuming. I don't know. But can't put your hands on people. Damon says, Ramon says, full court press. What do you mean by that, Ramon? Full court press. Do you mean that's what Juwan Howard and Michigan were doing? Pressing them full court during that time? Matt says, didn't Howard have an altercation last season? Yes, Yes, Matthew, I just mentioned that. He did have an altercation with Mark Turgeon, who was then the coach at Maryland. Yep, in which he had to be separated during that game as well. So he did have that. But he didn't throw any punches like this time. So it just goes on as an altercation. But we got to take the man at his word. What he said in his press conference, he says, this will not happen again. So let's hold him to his word. If it happens again, that's game. But I'm sure he's smart enough, and I'm sure he'll learn from this. And he'll be a better coach because of this, I think personally. So, yeah, Ramon, just tell me what you mean by full court press. All right? Let's see. Oh, okay, yes. So Ramon says, yes, full court press. Yeah. Why is Juwan Howard pressing? The game is in doubt, but he's pressing. I don't know. So, a lot of people are culpable in this melee. But I want to play Angel's Advocate, okay? And I want to play the what if game. All right? So bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. What if, in this case, that was Coach K? All right? Coach K, the famous coach is Duke, who's retiring. Let's say if that was Coach K. And let's say Coach K took a swing at an opposing coach. Do you think Coach K, number one, would be fired? Do you think Coach K would be suspended? Or do you think Coach K would be fined X amount of dollars because he's Coach K? Something to think about. I don't know. Something to think about. Would you fire Coach K for something like that, where they were saying they should fire Juwan Howard. Let's say the what if game. What if game. Eric, what's going on, Eric? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays, my friend. Eric says, should have got 2 games, had of what Howard got. Half of what Howard got. Okay, so Eric, are you saying the coach of Wisconsin should have got 2 games, or Dwight Howard should have got 2 games? Just let me know on that one. Because me personally, like I mentioned earlier, I think it was been just if Juwan Howard only got 3 games and fined. Okay? But you got some people out there in some publications. I talked to a couple of coaches, and they said, I got one coach who told me, he says, he should have been suspended the 5 games. He should have been suspended for the Big Ten tournament. He should be suspended if they make the NCAA tournament. And he should be suspended for a couple of games next year. I had the coach tell me that. But what do y'all think? Let's see. See if anybody else chimed in. Yeah. Okay, so Eric says, no, he would get the Bobby Knight coach. He would get the Bobby Knight coach of Wisconsin. What do you mean by that, Eric? I think I have an idea what you mean by that, but just clarify that for me if you would, for the people. I have an idea what you're talking about there. I definitely have an idea what you're talking about there. Would it have been the same treatment if that was Coach K? I'm just putting it out there, just playing angel's advocate. Just put it out there, see what the deal is. Just put it out there. But, we're going to see, and again, with Juwan Howard, he is a Michigan man. He played there. He's doing a great job. He's the coach of the year, the national coach of the year last year. So, we got to hold him at his word. Let's hope he's going to get another chance, which is great. But let's hold him at his word. Let's hopefully this doesn't happen again, because it's not a good look for basketball. It's not a good look for college basketball. It's not a good look for people in leadership. You got to coach. You got to keep your cool. And you had a couple players were suspended from Michigan, and I guess they would just follow suit what the coach did. So they saw the coach punch, so next thing you know, they punch it. So these guys, when they're in leadership positions, you got to hold yourself accountable. Let's see. Donna says, I would like to think that if Coach K threw a punch, he would get suspended. Yeah, I would like to think so too, Donna, but I don't know. We don't know on that. Let's see. 1 second, let me see. I think I have some more. Chris says, regardless of the coach, in this situation, anybody would be fined and suspended. Okay, gotcha, Chris. But do you think should it lead to a firing? Would it lead to a firing? Chris says you can't slap people. Yes, you can't slap people, Chris. You can't be going around slapping people in your job, on the court, or what have you. No, that's true. I agree with you, Chris. Ramon also says Wisconsin coach should not have tried to stop Coach K. Should not have tried to stop Coach K. I guess you mean Howard. Juwan Howard, right, Ramon? Yeah, okay. And Dana says Howard has established a pattern of a poor example for young men. The suspension is fine and justified, but consider anger management classes too. That's a good take on it there, Dana. That's a good take. Yeah. Yeah. Good take. Yeah, because we can't have people in leadership taking swipes and hits at coaches, and yeah, can't do that. Good conversation. Yep. Anybody else? Let's see. Yeah, we got to be, so Juwan Howard, he has to be held accountable. I mean, he's getting hit, in the wallet. He's getting a chance to reflect with these 5 games with his team. In essence, he's letting his team down. Because what's the first thing they say, when players get into fights? Oh, you let your team down. By getting into an altercation, you let your team down. So in this case, and I'm sure Juwan Howard will contest to that, he just let his team down. He lost his cool. Like Dana says, maybe anger management might be in store. Yeah, absolutely, because he's creating a pattern of this So that might be something to take a look at as well. Yeah, absolutely, man. So we'll have to wait and see on that, and see what the deal is, what the situation is on that. But yeah, good stuff there. Good comments. See anybody else commenting on that? No. Okay, good. So we're gonna ponder that. We're gonna, we'll continue to watch that and see what goes on with Juwan Howard. And while we do that, I also want to talk briefly before we head on out is this year's NBA All-Star Weekend that took place in Cleveland, Ohio. Man, did everybody get a chance to see that? Now, I'm going to ask you guys a question straight up, all right? Straight up question. What'd you think of the slam dunk competition? Was this the worst slam dunk competition? Was it a slam dunk competition? I don't know. It was like more misses or attempts than actually dunks. I don't know, but this is probably, to me personally, probably went down as one of the worst dunk contests ever. I think personally, even though my guy Obi Toppin, and Nick, he won it, but the competition was just like terrible. Man, oh man. Eric says, Dana says trash. Yes, Dana, I agree with you on that. Trash. It was trash, I gotta say. Yep. Looked like they probably couldn't even dunk on the trash cans that supplied the trash for them to play what they did. And Eric says, all I will say is there was not this much energy for others. Yes. Elaborate on that, Eric. We're going back to Juwan Howard, just making sure on that. Okay. The dunk contest, man, it was bad. It was really bad. I mean, I heard Kenny Smith talking about, man, maybe we should we should change the format. Maybe we should have the 3-point shooting contest at the end. No, Kenny Smith didn't say that. Actually, it was, who was saying? I forget who was saying that. But people were saying, had the 3-point shooting contest last for the last thing that people think about. Maybe they might have to revamp it. I don't know. I mean, every dunk has been done. It's just a matter of coming out with some props, with some flair, with some enthusiasm about it. Chris says the slam dunk competition remind me of guys working on dunks after a tough practice. I agree with you, Chris, because there were so many attempts, man. There were so many attempts. Ramon says, I'll take the Knick win. Yes, we'll take the Knick win. We'll take it any way we can get it. Yes, and Eric says, yes, sir, the dunk contest was the worst. Absolutely, yes. But the Knick did win, so that's a cool thing. So let's talk about the game really quick. So, Steph Curry with the shot. Man, all these three-pointers. This guy was shooting everywhere, man, and making it. The crowd was booing him in Cleveland because he won a championship against Cleveland back then. But he, it was ironic that he got MVP, but he was just, the stars that night. And but the one thing I want to really talk about is that the halftime, the 75th, the players, 75 greatest players, man, that was a sight to see. That was great, man. That was so great. The living players were there. Some didn't come. I want to talk about that as well. I didn't get that. I understand we're in COVID. I understand, former players like Bill Russell, what have you, who I heard, didn't want to make it because of the threat of COVID. I understand that. But you had some people who, I don't know. It remains to be seen. I don't call out some names. Why wasn't Scottie Pippen there? I don't get that. Why wasn't Scottie Pippen there? I don't know. Maybe he didn't want that smoke, when he was talking about with other players, with the, the last dance, talking about that because, Mike was there. MJ was there. Michael Jordan was there. It was great to see him there. They had to call him last, but great to see him there. But why wasn't a Scottie Pippen there? And like I always say, and I get into heated arguments about this, I don't think Scottie Pippen was the 50 greatest players. That's just me. I don't think he was in the 50 greatest players to ever play this game. So when he got selected then, I didn't agree about that. I thought Dominique Wilkins should have been on there. Guys like Bernard King should have been on there. Oh my God. But he got on there. So now you got the 75th and you don't show up for the 75th. What's up with that? What is up with that? That's not, it is very similar to his career, ladies and gentlemen. When he had the chance to shine, the play wasn't called for him, so he didn't want to go in the game. Why wasn't he there for the All-Star, for celebrating the 75th anniversary? Why wasn't he there? Ramon says, celebrity dunk contest. I don't know about that, Ramon. I see that celebrity game, which is, I vowed I'm not seeing that ever again. I just saw snippets of it this year, but I used to watch it all the time. I don't know about a celebrity dunk contest. I don't know. You got to put the rim to 6 feet maybe to do that celebrity dunk contest. And Eric says, no D, you can score. And then Ramon also says, McAdoo finally got his props. Absolutely. Yes, you take a guy like Bob McAdoo, who should have been on that first 50. Okay, you take a guy like that and replace a Scottie Pippen. That's just me. All right, and Bob McAdoo was there for the 75th anniversary. Where was Scottie Pippen? Just saying. All right. Eric says, didn't want to answer those questions. That's right. He didn't want that smoke. Pippen didn't want that smoke. That's what I think. Okay, I'm a little biased because I'm not a huge. I like Scottie. I love Scottie Pippen's game, but certain things turn me off, and that turned me off by him not being there. And I heard Isaiah Thomas say something at the end of that. He says, for those who were able to come and didn't come to the celebration in which you were part of the 75th anniversary, he didn't name names, but we knew who he was talking about. He said, shame on you. And I knew exactly who Isaiah was talking about. He was talking about Scottie Pippen. That's who he was talking about. We got my man Eric, Steven Jordan. What's going on, Steven? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays, my friend. Steven says he spoke on a lot of players, and I think Scottie didn't want the smoke as a result. That's right. I agree. That's why you saw him with that little, the video, him waving to the other players, but the video, him not be, him waving. Come on, man. Can't do that. Yep. Just got to watch what you say, I guess. I guess you got to watch what you say. Eric says, gets the guys who will be dunk contests all over to go against the league. Get the guys who will be in a dunk contest all over to go against the league. Okay. I got you on there. I got you. Well, you know what happens with the dunk contest, and I'll be briefing up. The dunk contest is, you want to get the guys who should be in the dunk contest. But I guess they look at it like, what's the incentive? It's not money, It's not guys trying to make a name for themselves. So I guess the big time guys, they're like, I don't need to do it. I just don't need to do it. I don't need the money that they get. I think they get a percentage of money. They don't need the prestige. They're already stars already in their right mind, I guess. So they're like, what's going to be the incentive for the true people, the dunkers of the game, to come and dunk? What's the incentive? I don't know. But they need to figure something out because that one was trash. That one was trash. I don't know how they're going to figure it out. Every dunk has been done basically, but I guess the type of people they're dunking, the showmanship has to improve. I don't know. We gotta improve some or just do away with it. I don't know. Maybe we might have a slap off competition. Back in the day, guys who play ball, you slap the backboard, and not dunk. Maybe you might have a flair like that. I don't know. But something has to be revamped. Something has to be done with it. But I love seeing the 75 greatest players. Those who are still with us today, it was great. It really brought back memories for me because, I was a huge Isaiah Thomas fan. That's the reason why I wore number 11. And Magic Johnson, I was a huge Magic Johnson fan as well. I used to always get number 32 if I couldn't get number 11. And guys like that changed the game, really changed the game. So it was great to see, my heroes, and I'm sure heroes for you out there as well, seeing them there, getting their flowers while they're here. That was great to see. That was great to see. In the NBA, they do a great job of marketing, man. I tell you, they can market the hell out of a product. And that's what they did with the 75th anniversary. So, I'll be anxious to see, what they do. God willing, if I'm able to see this, the 100th anniversary, the 25 years after that, who's going to be in that team. And I still think, and I've said, and I'm going to say this, and I still think Scottie Pippen shouldn't be on that team. All right, I said it. That's right. Eric says, well, Steven says, yes, all the greatness in one place. No doubt about that. And Eric says, like the guy who were on the 10-10 going against the best in the league, was great seeing our heroes. No doubt about that, Eric. No doubt about that, my man. No doubt about that. Man, oh man. Yep. Oh man. Spirited discussion, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, if we were able to make you laugh, smile, and think during this broadcast, my good friends, you have accomplished something major today. So celebrate your victory. Celebrate your victory, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely. As we play my theme music. Hey. Yes, yes. Hey. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army, thank you for watching Transition Tuesdays. Each and every Tuesday. I appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, you can catch this episode and past episodes on our YouTube channel, Transition Tuesdays. So when you go on there, please make sure you like and subscribe before you leave. I appreciate it if you could do that. Okay? And if you haven't done so already, you can follow me on Instagram at Russ Will Transitions. That's Russ Will Transitions with an S. Feel free to follow me, and I'll follow you back, okay? Also, I want to shout out, I did it already for you guys, but I'll do it again. I want to shout out you guys, the Transition Army, for watching each and every Tuesday. I appreciate you guys. I love the spirited conversation as well, the passionate conversation. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. I really do. I want to see if there's any more comments before we head on out. Donna says, have a good night, Russ. Thank you. You too, Donna. You too. One of the Lady JD's finest. Man, oh man. Hall of Famer. Hall of Fame person. More importantly, that's Donna Siebel. Okay? So, hey, we didn't have a guest. But guests of Transition Tuesdays, when we do have a guest, receive a candy gift pack. Compliments of Sweet Candy Cafe. Sweet Candy Cafe is the home of Southern Sweetness, located in downtown Lumberton. So after this show, okay, make sure you go to sweetcandycafe.com and order all your confectionery goodies. They ship home and abroad, so there's no excuse. All right, so make sure you go to sweetcandycafe.com. All righty? So, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army, as we said, parting, happy transitioning. I'm going to speak to you soon. Take care, everybody. God bless.